We are here for some more sprints. For most of you, I've just seen you all. But remind us what you're reading. Let us know what you're up to and all the things.
Our memories are not that good.
They're really not. They're really, really not. Half the time I can't remember what I'm doing. So like say hello, remind us, let us know what you're up to. But I am here. Margaret's here. Aoife's heading to bed. But Aoife is in the comments. I did see that. I need to get a move on. I need to get a move on Threadneedle. So that's what I'm going to be working on.
You're so brave.
It's really not that bad. It's really not, because it's YA. So it reads very quickly.
That's not true. I say that being like, yeah, we should have read Leviathan Wakes during the time that the shortest leg on this entire thing. Let's read this.
It's smaller than that. I mean, not technically page-wise, but like audiobook-wise, it's smaller.
Yeah.
So, because the font is bigger, but you know,
yeah,
the things.
Yeah.
Margaret, what are you up to?
I am I'm listening to Beartown.
Nice.
And I am working on the timer that I want to do for Face Off. And I think I was just telling Brianna, I think I have figured out how to do it in a way that is like not going to require me to do like 75,000 tiny steps.
That's good.
We work smarter, not harder here on this channel, which is why I often submitted the same review for the plays I was required to see by 4 different classes when I was in college.
Nice. I love how I said nice to you reading Beartown like I didn't know that's what you were reading. You'd be like, I'm reading Beartown. I was like, oh, like I was
yes,
not.
I am. And it's going to be very interesting because here's the thing. I don't really, like, I'm here for characters, so I really don't care about sports. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure I will know a lot about hockey by the time I'm done here.
I don't actually feel like you'll know a lot about, like, hockey obsession.
Yeah.
Not necessarily about hockey culture, right?
Yeah,
which is not necessarily the same as like knowing the sport itself.
Which
I will say, I live on the outskirts of a hockey like I'm in a bigger city, but like I live near small towns that are hockey towns, and unfortunately, I understood this book more than maybe I should have, if that makes sense, because there's horrible things happening, but like I could envision this happening.
Yeah.
In a hockey town.
Like for me, I mean, we do
not just hockey either.
We have all,
you know,
I think we have everything but basketball in my area, like Tampa Bay does. Because we've got the Bucks, we've got the Lightning, and we've got the Rays. And so like I went to a football college. So I know kind of that. I know that kind of culture from the football side. Don't know shit about football, but I know that I recognize the culture from the football side.
Yeah. Yeah, and that makes sense because sports culture can be the same in any sport. You can interchange that. So, and then you have the small town vibes. I love that book.
The small town vibes are awesome. Like everybody being in everybody's business and everything being so messy. It's reminding me of, oh my God, what is the book? I read it it was one of the group reads for Readathon. It's got a lady in a black dress that's embroidered, blue cover. I don't remember what it was, but it's a very, very messy, good book.
Someone in the comments might know what we're talking about.
Trigger warnings for graphic sexual assault. But it's such a good book.
We have a lot of people here. Hello, reading the 7-year slip. Very nice. Isn't teleporting happy? Teleporting's fantastic. And we're here. Hello. Hello. Team Sci-Fi's here. Emma. Ooh, nice one. Nice one. And there's Aoife. I hope you have a good sleep. Hello. Jojo's up. Good morning, Jojo. Hi, Laura. Gonna read it. Whoa. Now, if you thought my book was big, this one is...
You know what? You just read a little bit of it every day, and then you get like if it fits for a prompt, that's when you put a step on it.
100%. I actually applaud you for doing it because it could never be me.
Oh, I started in May. You know what? Yeah, that is exactly.
Still, that's a big book. Absolutely did forget I joined within 3 seconds of loading the page. You know, it's fine. Then we just jump scare you and we're like, hello. You're like, oh, I was on sprints. That's true. I was. Lavender House. I just picked up Lavender House from my library because I've seen so many people reading Lavender House, and it's Leander's favorite, and I'm now convinced that I must read this. Will I read it this month? That's a really great question. I would love to, but I keep picking up massive city books, which is causing the sightseeing to be.
I mean, it's not the page count that worries me about massive books. It's will it put you into a slump, or will you be subjecting yourself to extreme emotional damage in a period of time that no one should have to deal with a short amount of time?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I read big books a lot though, so I'm just kind of like, it's not like a 500-page book is not to me too big. Now, when you start getting into this 700-800 page, then I'm like, oh, okay. Hello.
Anything under 400, I don't consider a chunky book. When you get to the 500, 600 book, I'm like, okay, she's a little thick.
She's a little thick.
Once you get past 700, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's a big book.
That's massive.
But that's just because of how I grew up reading. If you look at my shelves, there are a lot of real thick, chunky books on there. I read Aragon for fun.
You made me read Leviathan Wakes in 2 days.
We read it in 3. Be honest. We read it in 3. You didn't finish till Sunday.
It was 3. I did not finish till Sunday. I think you finished on Saturday, though.
I finished. I got everything but the epilogue Saturday morning.
Oh, yeah.
Or up by Saturday night. And then I was like, okay, I'm falling asleep. I know I will have time to finish this before I am required, because we have to turn our stuff in several hours ahead of time. So sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I'm still reading something. I'm not actually reading it.
You're like, I'm actually done.
I'm just pretending so it doesn't give it away.
Producers know so many things and have to hide it.
Anyways, but yeah, I just slammed that out real fast and turned my stuff in.
Nice. Animal Farm, Leviathan Wakes, but haven't read it. We had a good time.
It's so good. I warn everyone that Miller is a bit skeevy, but that's kind of the point of his of the entire series. Like they really like their flawed characters. So
Readathon, Blood at the Root. Also, hello, Amel. How are you? 50% in Lord of the Empty Isles, Sightseeing with Tress of the Emerald Sea. This year, I don't want Amazing Readathon to end. I know it's been such a fun time. We still have a good, over half left. We still got lots left to do.
I think I speak for Brianna when I say we're having a blast, but the end of June cannot come quickly enough.
We'll be tired. It's fine. It's fine. Everyone.
I think it is. I think it is because I love, and I know a lot of people have an issue with the first book because it's 2 dudes and they're very dude.
They are
points of view. Even Holden, who is the biggest cinnamon roll and like the ultimate wife guy. There are times when he's like talking about how having like multiple G's coming at him affects his anatomy, and I'm just like, sir, I didn't need like once was kind of funny and cute.
Fine, yeah, 100%.
I don't need you to mention your balls this often, buddy.
But like, yeah, it's often
not outside of a sex scene.
No. Agreed.
But then you get into Caliban's War, which introduces 2 of the best characters in the series, because the best characters in the series are Naomi Nagata, who we meet in the first book.
Agreed.
Christian Avasarala and Bobby fucking Draper.
I don't know those 2 people. But
you don't yet. But I might have just like a mild crush on Bobby Draper, because she is the character any girl who wants to be a tough girl wants to be.
Fair. I mean, I agree with Naomi because Naomi's my favorite character from the books that I've seen so far. I love Naomi.
And I didn't realize it until, because like she absolutely could have been the captain of the crew, and it kind of annoyed me at the beginning. Having gotten to her point of view and like later books where she does take charge of certain things, I'm like, oh, someone was like, I see this can be his circus. I'll just be here making sure stuff doesn't break. I don't want to. I got
that even from the first book. She was like, I don't want to be. This is not. I don't want to. No.
Because in the show, she kind of takes charge a little bit more at the very beginning, and then she's like, you know what, Jen, this is a shit job. You can have it.
She's like, that's your problem, not mine.
So.
Reading Cersei, just arrived in Cave Town. I mean, what a surprise. It's been so long since we've all chatted. It's been forever. but you know what? We'll catch up. Reading Starling House. I feel no more clued in about hockey, no matter how many times I read Beartown. I mean, I know all the rules of hockey, but like it's a requirement to be a Canadian, kind of. The long O sounds always make me sound super Canadian. That's what happens whenever I have to do long O sounds.
If I ever want to blend in Canada, now I know I just need to say oot
You
anytime
just
there's
have to really hit the long O, and you depends on what part of Canada you're in. That's just the part of Canada I live in. Reading
They
Glow.
do the same in Ontario.
They do. They
Because
do.
it's really funny when you're talking with Cal, because Cal, like, I don't know, maybe code switches a little bit. So he doesn't always, like, you'll hear him say about, but there have been times on sprints where he's like, a boot, and he's like, oh my God. Like, you'll just watch him. Like,
I just go with it. I'm like, yep.
It's like me when I get super Southern.
Sightseeing in Cape Town. Boop the like. Thank you. Hello. Hi, Courtney. Hi, Steph. A Court of Cruel and Lovely. So the book was so great. The last in the series, full of twists, laughs, and swoons. We love this. I really want to read this trilogy. I've heard good things. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping I can read a bit and make it fit for the cities after Face Off. Absolutely. Oh, you still have a lot. You still have a lot to do. You've got this though. 500 is chunky. Biggest book I read was Winter, which is also a very chunky book.
Marissa Meyer does a really good what's the word? She does such a good job of like writing something that's compelling and bingeable. Like I read A Court of Mist and Fury. I read when I still read Sarah J. Maas. I read A Court of Mist and Fury in 6 hours.
Yeah.
I sat down to read. I was like, I'm going to read a couple of chapters, and I was about chapter 4 or 5. I'm going to read a couple of chapters, and then I'm going to go do some stuff that I needed to do. And then it was 6 o'clock, and I was like, oh my God, my library has closed. I need the next book. How am I going to survive until tomorrow when the library is open?
We love those kind of books, though. When they just like catch you. They just get you. Also, hello, Penelope. I'm sorry you have a migraine, though.
Ew, gross. I don't like that for you. I do not love
used
that.
to think 500 was fine. These days, I consider 450 a chunker. They're all big after a certain period of time. They're just large.
It also depends on whether or not I have the audiobook and how dense the writing is.
True. Yeah. Finished and logged my book. Nice. Reading Spark of the Everflame. Oh, I've heard good things. Hello, Thomas. 15 minutes left of work, but when I get home, I need to get to Cape Town. Well, I'm glad you're almost done work and can kind of get into a relaxing mode for the evening. Reading can be a competitive sport. It can be. We do it often. No way I will ever read it. I would never sleep again. Fair. Yeah, I don't do the scary books. That's not my jam. Not my jam. But we are going to head into our first sprint. And we are going to do an hour because we're only going to be sprinting here for 3 hours today because then I have to head over to my watch along. But I know there are more TAR sprints tonight over on Izzy's channel. So closer to the end of these, we'll get you the links and all that stuff. But let's jump into our first sprint and I will see you in an hour.
Now boarding flight AMZ 766 to Cape Town.
Hello, we're back. I actually got reading done in that sprint. Yay! I made progress. It's still, with big books, how it looks like no matter how much you read, that you've made no progress. That's how it looks. But like, I'm already almost 20% through. So like, we're moving quickly, even though it takes forever. So that's what I did. How'd you do, Margaret?
I forgot I was supposed to be reading.
That happened to you earlier too. You keep forgetting about your book.
Taylor Swift on the other line. I meant to start. I think I picked my phone up like 3 different times to start my book, but then I got distracted texting people.
Mm-hmm.
And we worked on the timer a little bit, and it's looking good.
That's awesome. I'm excited. So. I'm excited for tomorrow and for the whole weekend. It's going to be so fun. I already have my first book picked out. Like I'm ready to go. I just need to get much further through Threadneedle before tomorrow, but that'll be fine. I have all night tonight. Well, after my watch along, I have all night. Okay, where were we in the comments? We were talking about big books. Plated Prisoner is really bingeable. Nice. Got to read before bed and leave tonight and see you at Face Off. Thanks for hanging out. That's why I love the books. I can get through get through her books in 2 to 3 hours each, which is lovely. Very lovely. Also got to Cape Town. Very nice. Hello, Jess. Just got cut from work tonight. I hope that's a good thing. I don't know. It depends on your situation if that's good or bad. But gonna play catch up on some books and do some chores. Hi, Courtney. How are you? Watch The Expanse. I need to watch this. I need to watch it now. Like now I need to watch it. Is it like 1 book per season? Is that how it works out?
So okay, so here, let me break this down for y'all. The first 3 seasons, books 1 through 3, they really like kind of combined them. So you're getting like you get Avasarala at the beginning of the show.
Okay, so I need to read a few more books first then.
Well, it depends. Like if you want to go in and watch it because they're different enough. Seasons 1 through 3 is different enough. I mean, the shows just are different enough from the books that like you're not going to entirely spoil yourself for everything. There are still fun little things to discover. Cool. But like book 1 takes all of season 1 and like part of the way into season 2. And then book 2 is part of season 2. And then we're in season 3 now and that hasn't wrapped up. And then book 3 will be like, so they kind of combined 2 and 3 a little bit. And like, the reason I would say read the books first is because that you're going to have such an appreciation for how they were able to weave these things together.
Yep.
After that, books 4, 5, or seasons 4, 5, and 6 mostly follow exactly what the books are with some exceptions because like it's harder to do for television, etc.
Right.
And then they do have to fully cut Alex out in season 6 because the actor was caught talking with underage girls.
Well, that's a good reason.
And so they
didn't want to just like replace with a new actor. They just cut the character.
They fully kill him off at the end of season 5. And I don't even care if that's a spoiler because like you are going to know going in if you've seen anything about The Expanse. But like they were just like, no, he's not. Like I've never seen such a fast reaction to an actor getting caught doing something. All of the cast unfollowed him. They denounced his actions. Like it was like the Try Guys before the Try Guys happened. So they're like, nope, you're out of the show. You're gone. And so they had to redo some of those plot points for season 6.
Yeah.
Which will be interesting if they ever come back and do the final 3 books. But yeah, that was like, we were all like, what's like, we went in knowing that Alex wasn't making it into season 6.
Right.
So.
Hi, Mia. The Ghost of Rose Hill. War and Peace. Ooh, it's took me months. Fair. That's large and dense. So fair. Hello, just joining. Reading Sabrina and Karina. Nice. Hello, Amal. How are you? Called my bank to resettle a repayment, but got struck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, God, rude.
45 minutes through the book, though. I have not. but someone in the comments may have, and I don't know if Margaret has, but I have not. 25% into Lavender House. Margaret, have you read Collide?
Have I read? No, I have not.
No. So maybe someone in the comments has, though. Working on a mid tasks and then reading soon. Got to chapter 7, which is about 4 chapters. Nice. Watch Leandra's new video. Wanting a little book break. We need those. Self-care is, we keep hitting it home, but it's very important to take the time to just like take a minute. Because we still have a lot of amazing readathon left. So if you need a few minutes where you just watch some booktube, scroll on your phone, take a nap, all of those things are great things to also do.
And I'll say this, I know it's going to be very tempting to go as hard as possible for Face Off. If you need to take it more slowly, you will still be helping your team.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Like,
because you don't want to come out of Face Off burnt out.
You don't want to come out of Face Off burnt out.
A lot to
like,
go.
My kind of thing is, if it's not fun anymore, back off a little bit.
That's great advice.
You can still help your team by like cheering them on. You can still help your team by doing any detours that come down. And this goes for the whole readathon. Like, but if you need to back off for a little bit, you can back off for a little bit. You can always, if you need to, get caught up with like short books.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 60 pages, listened to half a chapter and got distracted by a game for the rest as I needed to focus on that more. Hey, again, self-care. We love it. Started my book, started making dinner, and started editing today's vlog clips. Nice, Heather. 60%, 4 hours away. Had a lunch sprint, 10 pages, and cleaned up after dinner. 40 pages. It's midnight, and I think I'm going to visit our fridge. Love it. Hi, Alicia. Sprint hopping. Finished the kiddo summer workbooks for the day and reading time. Reading You Need a Budget, currently at 155 of 195. About to do dishes and make dinner. That's what I have to do in this next sprint, is have dinner. That needs to occur. 92%. Back from errands, ready to read. Got to chapter 9 of A Court This Cruel and Lovely and ate dinner. About to get some sleep. It's a busy day tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with us. There are no prompts for Face Off. There are no prompts. So Face Off, you can read whatever you want. It's just basically reading as many books as you can. Again, go at your own speed, go at your own rate. And there will be some polls in your team to get specific items, but none of that's out yet. And you'll see that tomorrow. So that's not something that you need to like think ahead on or anything like that. Just watch your team chats for polls. And that's really it. So I've just been stocking up on like manga, novellas, quick audio.
Stuff I'm going to want to read quickly anyways.
Right. Exactly. Quick audiobooks too. Don't forget some audios, because you might want to do some other things over the weekend, but still want to read while you're doing those things. So not only have I finished 2 500-page books this week, that is amazing. They're both emotionally heavy, and I'm reading for a weekend of fluffy reads. Yes. Yes. After some heavy books, we need the fluffy ones. Wedding tomorrow and work on Sunday. So mainly only doing Face Off on Saturday. And that's totally fine.
That works.
Because there will be some people who are doing the other days too. Like a lot of people might be working on Friday, so not super tuned in on Friday. And some people will be doing Father's Day things on Sunday, so won't be super tuned in on Sunday. So there'll be people from your team in and out all weekend, and you'll all kind of cover some of the time. Hi, Bethany, working from home office and working away. Read Lavender House for Toronto and really enjoyed it. I need to read this book. I'm seeing everybody read it, and I'm convinced. Watch Vanessa's video. Doing this, not doing this weekend. That's totally fine, because it makes you stressed. And if you are behind on cities, it might be best. Not that I'm saying Kirsty's behind, but just another thought that came into my mind. It might be a good weekend to work on catching up if you want to instead. That's
what people did last year. A lot of people did. Like there will be enough people working that if you need to, or reading, that if you need to take this to like step back and be like, I'm just going to focus on getting caught up on cities, you can't.
Or if you're already caught up and it is 48 hours doing all that, that's a bit too much. You can still sightsee. That's still available to you. So there's lots of good things that you can do.
I fully plan on like ignoring the Discord. I mean, I'm not going to have to worry about any team polls or anything. I'm fully planning on just ignoring the Discord. I'm going to just do whatever, just read as much as I want to read.
Mm-hmm.
So
some plans for this weekend, so I can't read for the whole 48 hours, and we'll need sleep, but we'll read as much as I can. Exactly, exactly.
Who needs sleep?
I know nothing. So I don't know anything.
Brianna's
Sorry.
said something about that. I think people just aren't believing her.
I don't know anything, so I can't answer that. Bree does have a recommendation video. Great one. Always use YouTube short books or novellas. Yep, absolutely. Putting together faith offerings for my team. I'm not helping the rest of you all. That's fine, Heather. That's fine. We understand. Caught up. So I want to progress on a few books I'm getting ahead of for the future and like some sightseeing. Nice.
Mhm.
The Parable of the Talents. Hopefully finish it tomorrow and finally arriving in Paris. Hello, Jean. Just got home from work. I think I threw my back. Oh my goodness.
No.
I hope you're okay. Rest, lay down, take something. I don't know what to do, but be careful. This is already amazingly going to be our last sprint. 3 hours of sprints goes by so fast. And we're going to do a 75-minute to get us,
Okay.
that'll leave us with 15 minutes to chat before I have to run.
I'm going to hop off
That's
so that I have time to do dinner and stuff for D&D and like get this whole thing done and ready.
Totally fine. Thanks for hanging out with me.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Always, always. Bye. My face is going to be so big here in a minute when you leave. It's too much of me. But we are going to do one last sprint and then I have to run off to a watch along, but I will grab Izzy's link because Izzy has more sprints. These will end and then there'll be an hour break and then there will be Izzy. So I will grab those as well. But let me pull this up. We're going to do 75 minutes for this one and I will see you all in an hour and 15.
Now boarding flight AMZ 766 to Cape Town.
Hello, everyone. We have a Heather. Hi, Heather.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. How'd your sprint go?
Good. I have no idea what I was doing when you started this sprint, but I
don't know either.
am this, so.
Ooh, I have the regular novels of that series.
Yes. Have you ever read it?
I haven't. I want to, though.
I love it. I love it. To be fair, I love all of Ilona Anders' books, so I'm not like the most subjective of people to ask.
That's fair.
But I've read the original book of this. I've read the series twice. Izzy and I, and then Steph from Novelty Corner and Megan from Meow Fader, we've done an Ilona Anders read along. So we've done shows for all of their books.
Oh, nice. So something I can go watch as I read them too.
Yes. And our next release is in July. So we're looking forward to it, needless to say. But this is so fun to get to see the story, you know, in
visually. Yeah.
Novel. I'm loving it.
That's awesome.
Okay.
I did not read.
Way to go.
You go me. I had dinner and I'm doing a spoiler vlog for this book. So I need to update fairly often or I'm going to be like, what am I supposed to tell you? So I did an update because I was like, oh, by the time I finish my watch along later, I'm not going to want to pick up a camera then. So like now's the time.
For sure.
Or they don't get an update today. And I was like, that's not going to work. So
right.
Yeah. Which is fine. So I did put in some links for some sprints. We have Tar sprints tonight with Izzy at 8 p.m. And I think Heather's going to be on those. I think I saw that. But if you want sprints between now and then, one of our lovely producers, Neva, is having Hostmade sprints right now, reading the Hostmaids Not Secret. It's whatever the third book is.
I have no idea.
Not a clue. Don't know. It's the third book in the Housemaid series, but I doubt there's spoilers. So I'm sure you can join and read whatever you need to read. So those are happening now. Just got back from the library. Nice. And there's Heather.
Yeah. I was just watching you though. I was like, I'm literally sitting in my room by myself because everyone else is doing like screen time and stuff. I was like, I could get on the screen. It would be fine.
Spend time with us. Crystal missed us. Crystal was going to pop on, but work and times and I'm ending early and all the things happen. But hello, Crystal. 23% into Lavender House, dinner and family sprint, which to be fair, maybe how the rest of the night goes. You know what? We need those times as well. We do.
Yes.
Hello, Sam. Ate dinner with the kiddos that sprint. It looks like it was a dinner sprint for a lot of people because it was also my dinner sprint as well. Yeah. But only 10 pages left in your book. So feel free to mute us too because hello to Heather. 3 chapters and now exhausted. So we'll be heading to bed. Fair. What time is it for you? It's almost midnight. So that's fair. That's fair. Time for bed. Hi, Krista. How are you? Joined in that last sprint, alternating between cleaning my house and reading Last House on the Street and loving it. Finished Fantastic Land. 2 chapters into Fantastic Land. Is it a quick read? I love how it was like back to back. I finished and then someone else is like, I'm starting it. I've heard great things about this. I'm unsure if I want to read it because I've heard it's a little bit like graphic at times. And that's not my I'm not a horror person and apparently kind of like starts to dip in. It starts to leave thriller and head in that direction at times. And
I'm no horror.
I don't do it. I don't do the horror thing. I don't anything that's adjacent. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
62% of your way to Cape Town, reached Cape Town and started my first sightseeing book. Is watching the Housemaid. At first I was like, what are you watching, Crystal? The Housemaid is watching. Got you.
Always watching.
Check me out going to bed before midnight. I am proud of you. I'm proud of you. The Housemaid is watching. This was actually the moment I realized what Crystal was talking about. I saw the comment 2 down because I was like, That's a bit creepy, Crystal, that you're just like, I'm watching you. 188 of 385 of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Is this your first time reading it?
Very nice.
Feeling might have approximately 24 hours to finish. Who knows? We don't know what we have. We don't know anything.
I think a lot of it depends on your strategy. Like if you like reading short books and you plan on reading a bunch for Face Off, or if you're just going to regular.
Because I'm not going to be done this before Face Off. I'm going to I think I'm going to just do like 100 pages a day during Face Off.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time I'll do short books and it'll all work out.
I love short books, but I also have done vlogs and stuff where, I see how many different things I can read.
Mm-hmm.
So I know for a fact that I do get burned out if I just read novella.
Same.
So we'll see.
It's true. When you're moving through one story to another story to another story so rapidly, you can get a little bit like, what happened?
Yeah.
And my brain is mush. So
yeah,
it'll be fine. We're going to do our best, everyone. And that's what we're going to do. Oh, you'll also be on with Heather on Izzy Sprints. Nice.
That's awesome.
Made it to part 2 of it. I'm so proud of you for taking on this book. Next week, I meant next sprint. I told you, tar brain is a thing. Tar brain is a thing.
I saw that they had 10 pages left and then they were going to be done with it next week. I was like, what on earth? Are they just like not reading for the next 5 days? What's happening?
Taking a long break. It's fine. That's why I was like, feel free to mute us. Like, we don't need to.
Yeah.
We can get that done. 118 pages of A Touch of Darkness should finish during Izzy's sprints. 70% and did some diamond painting. Read nothing, but got Brittany's newest video watched. Thank you. I appreciate that. Did the dishes and got cozy for bones. That's what I have to do next, is get cozy for bones. We're finishing season 1 tonight, and I'm very excited.
Awesome.
I'm very excited. Although I know I'm going to cry. So, fine. It'll be fine, everyone. Always watching when I'm not sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Tons of difference. It's rough.
It is your first time reading Evelyn Hugo. Nice. I hope you enjoy it. It's a fun one. But that's the end of our sprints for today. You will see Heather later. So
yes, you will.
You will see Heather very, very soon. I need to run off and do other things, but I will be back tomorrow for face-off sprints, the same time as these were today. But first go to Bree's channel, and then you'll just kind of end up here.
You've been on for like 7 hours, right?
Yeah, I do 7 hours every Thursday.
Every Thursday? Oh my God.
Thursday. This was actually a break because I got to spend it with Aoife first instead of just doing 7 hours here.
That's funny.
Yeah, I know, I'm crazy. But yeah, so we're gonna head off. Not yet, unless it arrived today.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because I haven't checked the mailbox today. But it took forever for Fourth Wing to get to you, so I expect it to take forever to get this package to take forever to get here. Because apparently Canada and Australia takes a long time for mail.
They're not compatible.
That mail takes a long time, y'all. But that's the end for us tonight, and I will see you all not next week. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Normally next week. You can tell Thursday's usually the end of my week, and I'm like, okay, and I'm done. I'll see you then. Heather will see you later tonight.